Welcome everyone to my lair, and welcome to the Deceptibot9 Halloweekend Extravaganza. How's it going, everyone? deceptibot9 here, and thank you as always for joining me here on the channel. Hope you don't mind my spooky side coming out a little bit for Halloweekend Extravaganza. This is review number 2 of Halloweekend Extravaganza. Last one was the Masterverse Hordak review for all my Masters of the Universe guys out there. And so for all my Transformer guys out here, I had to hit you guys with something a little bit special as well. And now I know this figure came out last year, about a year ago, around Halloween time, and so he's a little old news, but I love him so much, and I want to talk about him for Halloween, because why not? It's collaborative Draculus. Yes, I know everybody knows about this guy already, but I am a sucker for this guy, because I love Universal monsters. Dracula specifically is my favorite, as I'm sure he's most other people's favorites as well. And this is just such a wacky combination and such a ridiculous idea, but when he came out, I knew I had to get it. There was no way I was missing this guy. Long story short, he didn't disappoint. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a closer look at Transformers Collaborative Draculus. Alright, so here is a closer look at the Transformers Collaborative Universal Monsters Draculus. He's got his cape on, he's standing imposingly, and he looks great. Now, from the back, I mean, he's a little lumpy, but it's okay. We'll get past that. He is absolutely tremendous looking here in robot mode. And actually, before we take too much of a closer look at the figure, I want to show off the box, because I don't keep many boxes just because I don't have the space and I take everything out, as you guys know. But sometimes, every once in a while, a special package comes along like this, and I've got to keep it. It's so cool. The art here on the front, absolutely tremendous. We get the collaborative logo here, Draculus there, Transformers done on the side. Up here, we get the Universal Monsters logo, Dracula, looks all nice. But here's where it's cool. Coming to the side, it's designed to look like a VHS tape box. We got a Decepticon logo, Universal Monsters. Last year was the 90th anniversary of the original Dracula movie, which is insane. I love that movie. And here we go on the back, product shots, if we can get away from the glare of how he looks. He's awesome. And to the side as well, still kind of designed in a VHS style with, you know, the picture and Dracula right there, Universal Monsters. I mean, it's just really cool. Even if you open it up, the tray on the inside still looks like a VHS tape, which is so cool. And I love that fact. Despite how young I look, I did grow up with VHS tapes, so I do know all about those, but I never owned a Dracula on a VHS tape, but there is that. So we saw a 360 view of the figure. This is everything he comes with. Some of his stuff is hiding there underneath, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at the details, shall we? All right, first thing to note is we got to start up here at the head sculpt. It looks so cool. I mean, come on, look at that thing. It is modeled after Bela Lugosi as Dracula, and oh, how can you deny this? This is so cool. I love the piercing red eyes coming through. He's even got teeth. He's got a pointy chin. He's got some evil ears. I just love this head sculpt. He looks so cool. Even, I love this too. No reason for him to be a robot to have this tuxedo design chest, but man, I love it. It looks so cool. Even coming down, just looks like he's wearing a suit, right? He's got little cuffs on him. His hands look absolutely tremendous. They're nice painted silver. He's got sharp fingies. This one is same thing pretty much. It's got open hand, but I like to put the gun in there because of the gun. You can see it's got a nice like kind of red tip going to it, like it's, you know, drawing blood and stuff. Same thing here with the claw that I envision is a allegory for his big vampire teeth sucking blood there as well. And of course you can just see the mechanical detailing all around everywhere. It's the Mind Wipe from Titan's Return mold. So if you know about that figure and you know the details on that figure, many of those details do exist on this figure as well, but they're done in a different shade of black. It's mostly black rather than sort of that purple brown black aesthetic. So some of them are a little bit lost. And of course, we get a nice fabric cape, which is really big, and I love it. You'll see these kind of cuts all over it in certain areas, which is just meant for it to be held in certain areas in certain modes. But on the back, you can see the bat head is there. So that's one of the reasons why I like having the cape on, because it hides that bat kibble head that is on the back, but also because I think he just looks so much cooler with a cape on as well. And you can see, I mean, he looks great. You can, if you would like, obviously, you can remove the weapons from him as well, and you can just even get a more neutral, standard look out of him. And if you want to throw these, the cape pieces back on, they kind of sit, if you can get them right. Sometimes they finagle a little bit, but you put them kind of around the tops of his shoulders, and he's got that sort of mysterious look to him, you know, where Dracula's all covered up. It's really cool. I love the addition of the cape accessory, and you get, of course, the little tiny wings. And I mean, come on, look at that. How can you not love this? I love this so much. I know he's not probably technically the best collaborative figure. That probably has to go to Gigawatt, but he's my personal favorite. I have the most fun with Draculus, whatever you want to call him. I think he looks sweet, and I just absolutely love how he looks in robot mode. Real quick, let's go ahead and tackle articulation. The ball joint here at the head is pretty well done. You can get a nice up and down out of it, some side to side. It does swivel all the way around. The arms you can pivot all the way around. Obviously, you just got to get the cape out of the way, but it's fabric, so no big deal. They go up about that far, or you can also use the transformation joint to get them up even higher. They swivel here at the bicep, along with having a double hinge right there at the elbow, which locks a little bit for transformation, but it's no big deal. Nothing at the wrist, unfortunately, besides just a hinge. That's just due to, obviously, the mold being, 5-6 years old, however old this mold is. He does have a waist swivel, though. Legs go forward and backward, and they go out this far, both sides. He can do the full splits. Yay for Dracula. The legs swivel at the thigh, bend at the knee, pretty solid knee bend right there as well, and unfortunately nothing at the feet except for hinge due to transformation. So obviously, since the mold is a little bit older, there are some limitations in the articulation, but what other mold are you going to put Dracula on? So I really don't mind it. And Mind Wipe was always one of my favorites of that original Titan's Return Headmaster figure updates, so I don't mind it here at all. Plus, I mean, look at him. He just looks great. So let's see how he looks with some other figures really fast, shall we? I was going to compare him to my original Titan's Return Mind Wipe, but he is in a tub somewhere, and I'm not quite sure which tub he was in. I looked through a few and couldn't find him, but here's a picture of Mind Wipe just to see how they look together. And here he is next to another bat vampire-inspired character, Legacy Bomb Burst, who I'm very glad to have. I have a short mini review of him on my channel if you want to go see my thoughts on him. All right, without further ado, let's get this guy into his bat mode, shall we? Now, I do want to note, obviously, you're going to have to remove the cape, and normally I don't talk during my transformation bits, but I just want to say, I want to show off where the ports are for connecting this thing. There is a little hole right here with this big peg. That's what's kind of holding the cape on entirely. So you get that off the notch. Then you can just slide it off the mini bat wings in its little slits there. So we will come back to this when he is in bat mode, and I will talk about that when we get there. So let's get to bat mode, shall we? All right, now that we're fully in bat mode, here's how you kind of want to assemble the cape for this mode. Is you're going to use that same dot that we used in robot mode. It's kind of right here. You're going to loop it around that big peg, and you do want to kind of fold the cape over in half, and you can still hook the little bat wings onto the little notches that showed up here because they are in the same spot. But then these extra ones that we saw in robot mode that didn't really do anything, they loop onto the latch or the end part of the bat wing here. And so then you can get him kind of curled over with a cape aesthetic or kind of a more fabric-y looking wing type, which is really, really nice. So here is a 360 overview of Draculus in bat mode. And I mean, it's great. What else? It's Dracula that actually turns into a bat. I mean, it is so awesome. I mean, I can look past the flaws of this mold. Obviously, the mold, like I said, the mold is old. We can get past that. Obviously, we can see his hands here in the back. The weapon storage that turns into a tail is kind of clunky. Even though he's not a headmaster anymore, he remains the headmaster cockpit. But it's like, figures like this, I mean, what else are you going to do? It's just so much fun. It's so fun. And it's a great Halloween-themed Transformer. And it's a character that I never could have in a million years dreamed of getting. So, like I said, I'm going to look past the flaws because it's just so fun. So let's take a look at some of the details that are newly revealed here in the bat mode, shall we? All right, coming up here, obviously new is the bat head, and you can see his jaw is articulated with some nice silver paint going on around it. He's got little nostrils, nice red eyes, that red fading paint going on up in the ears is really, really nice. Here is what I was saying, the Headmaster cockpit, or Titan Master cockpit does still exist on this copy of the figure, even though he is not a Headmaster. So you could fit a Headmaster in there, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they remolded it. It looks like they might have remolded in there. But I like the translucent red kind of on the chest. Looks really nice. Plus, we get that same sort of red paint going on the wings here that we see on the weapons and the head, plus all these other details that are on the other side of the wings. It's just you can see them a little bit better now due to the color of paint coming down here. These little feet parts we didn't see before because they are part of the arms that were hidden. Here's the arms there on the back. If you take the cape off, obviously there is kind of a lot going on the back. It's got, you know, the tiny wings going on and everything, and the feet are hanging off. You can still see all those other details, and the tail accessory here is in robot mode, or is plugged into the back. So it's not much new detail. I mean, there is kind of a good amount of new detail, but he doesn't do much in bat mode, but he just kind of hangs out and chills, which I do really, really love. As we saw, there's no real articulation. The head doesn't swivel or anything. You can open and close the jaw. The wings do have hinges on them right here, here, and here. So there's 3 hinges you can utilize on the actual wings. The way he transforms, as we saw, the wings tab into the feet here, so you can't really get any feet articulation unless you untab the wings. And you could untab the wings to get more wing articulation out of them, but then you are, you know, kind of untabbing the entire beast mode. And then you're just kind of pulling apart the whole mode there. So let's put him back together real fast. But yeah, as we saw, I mean, he's great. They didn't really change much in bat mode from Mind Wipe. And again, since I couldn't find where my Mind Wipe is, here is a picture of Mind Wipe in bat mode to compare with Draculus. And here he is with Legacy Bomb Burst in his vehicle mode, which obviously these two modes don't go together very well, but I do love Legacy Bomb Burst, so I had to show him off in the all mode. And just for fun, before we get to my final thoughts and the outro, here's Draculus with my other Halloween-themed review this year. It is Masterverse Hordak. So if you want to go watch that, check it out. Click the link right there. All right, that is going to do it for my closer look at Transformers Collaborative Draculus. So let's go ahead and fly up to me for my final thoughts. All right, so what are my final thoughts on Draculus here? Well, if you guys couldn't tell throughout that review, I freaking love Draculus. He is he's just so much fun. And it really shows that sometimes you can have a figure that's not really perfect and they've got some flaws, it's an old mold, but as long as the concept is there and what you are trying to do is executed well, it doesn't matter because this figure is fun as hell. I freaking love this figure, and I really hope we can see more Universal Monster figures made sometime soon. I mean, you could even take Weird Wolf and turn him into the Wolfman. I don't know. It's just, I love Universal Monsters overall. I love monster movies, all that fun stuff. And so Draculus here is just a huge, big win for me because of how cool, how fun, and how unique he is as a concept. Something I never thought we would see, but I love it so much. So I want to thank everybody for joining me here in my lair, bringing an end to the first Deceptibot9 Halloweekend Extravaganza. Alright guys, that's just a little bit of my spooky theatrical side coming out here. So with all that said, guys, I've been your host, deceptibot9. Thank you all for watching. If you guys made it all the way to the end, I really do truly appreciate it. If you liked what you saw, please go ahead and leave me a like, subscribe as well as stay tuned for all the future content I've got planned, all that fun stuff. And if you liked the Halloween themed stuff, I really hope we get some more spooky figures next year that are a little bit different, so I can continue doing this Halloween trend because I love Halloween, I love monsters, I love all this fun stuff. And of course I love talking action figures with you guys. So let me know about your thoughts on Draculus down below in the comments, and let me know if you want to see more Universal Monsters made into Transformers, because I know I certainly would. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Thanks for sticking all the way to the end, and I'll see you guys later.